Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. I've been getting a lot of questions about my Rollei SL66 camera system, and I really love that system, and I'm going to do a detailed review of that in a future video. But today I'm going to show you what's inside my case that I keep my camera and all of my accessories in related to the SL66. But I teach workshops and seminars, and I have various types of camera systems and audio. I've got drone stuff. So what I do, I keep those basically in cases. And then when I'm going out on the field, maybe I'll take the case with my Rollei equipment, but then I won't carry this big old case out in the field. And I have a similar case that I use for all my Rollei SL66 stuff. Again, I'll have that in my camper, my truck. I'll go out to the field. It has everything in it pretty much that I need, and then I'll decide on that day if I'm going to backpack up a mile or two, whatever, and I'll just take what I think I'm going to need. So let's take a closer look inside that case now. Okay, this is the metal case that I keep my SL66 in, and you may notice something kind of unusual. This is my old Hasselblad case, but I used to have a Hasselblad system. I've traded that out over the years, and now I have the SL66, and I'm just delighted with it. It's got some great features to it. We won't get into all that now. We're going to look at that at a later time in another video. But basically, I have this case. It's got the dividers, and let's look at the items we have. Of course, first of all, we have the Rollei camera, the SL66. It's a single lens reflex. It's got a shutter built into the body. Some of the lenses, you can get a couple lenses that have the shutter inside so you can sync at any shutter speed, but there's only two lenses you can do that with. The rest of them, you're limited electronic flash, only 1/30th of a second. So that's a little bit of a drawback for some folks, but don't need to worry about that. Got my little cleaner here. Matter of fact, my cleaning kit is in my other, my 4x5 outfit. But on this camera, when I got it, I had a 120 roll film back. It has interchangeable backs, of course, has interchangeable lenses. And I picked up later on a 120, 220 back. It's because I have some 220 film, but you really need to have two backs. You're going to be shooting a 120 and doing the comparison film comparisons as I do. And most people, when you get a camera system at all, you're going to get a normal lens, a medium lens, and telephoto. In the case of a 2 1/4, like this camera, the normal is like an 80, but you get a 50 wide angle, or 50, 55 in that range, and then an 80 is about the mid-range, and then normally folks go up to 150 millimeter. But I skipped right past that, and I went up to this beautiful little gem of a lens here. A good friend of mine down in Monterey, see Joe Go, he swears by this lens, and it really has served me well. 250 millimeters, and it's sharp as a tack. It's lightweight, and it's just great. And one of the reasons that I skipped the 150 millimeter range and went right up to the 250 is because I have a wonderful lens that is a Nikkor, and it's a 180 from my view camera. Now, one of the beautiful features of this system here is that Rollei made an adapter plate that allows you to mount view camera lenses on the Rollei. Take the lens off there, put this on, and you could already have, eventually I'm going to have this lens mounted on there. And but normally these blanks, they come with just a tap hole, and you have to cut it out to the size of the shutter that you're going to be using. And so I'm going to be using my 180 instead of a 150 from my view camera. So that's a great feature that I don't know any of the 2 1/4 cameras have that sort of ability. And then I have my normal 80. So I have the 50, the 80, and then I'll have a 180, and then my 250. You may recall that this system has a variety of different interchangeable finders. This is a waist level finder, and here I have the eye level finder. So this is great for if you want to shoot at eye level, but makes it really versatile. There are times when you are a little too high, the camera position is too high, and this isn't really practical. So That other finder there is just great. Now, a lot of folks will look at this and think that I have another lens here, but in fact, these are extension tubes. These are two different tubes, and a couple reasons for that. This camera has a built-in bellows, which is really good for macro, and it's excellent, but you can get more magnification if you use extension tubes, of course. But for me, one of the main reasons I got it is because of this lens has a film to nodal point of the lens is considerably beyond what the focus range of the bellows would be. So if I put my view camera lens on one of these extension tubes, I don't have to extend the bellows out very much. That allows me to get into really close focus range. And but of course, focusing infinity is no problem with that. I have this kind of different sort of shutter release. This is a plunger, and there are times when I need to be far away from my camera. Well, not far away, this is 10 feet, but I've had some occasions where I have to have the camera considerably higher than my position that I could get to, and so that makes it really quite easy. I do have other cable releases, the standard cable releases. I always have two, and I have a spirit level, and I put that right in the side of the camera because this doesn't have a built-in level, and I like to just use these. You got a horizontal and vertical, and it slides right in the cold shoe on the side of the camera there. And I have a headlamp. Never go anywhere without my headlamp, and these are really invaluable to have. You got to have that with spare batteries. You never know when you're going to be shooting late or early. And some film here. I've got Tri-X. I'm shooting up some rolls of Tri-X a friend gave me, and this, as far as the accessories go, this can all change little by little, because depending on, again, what I'm going to be doing. Mounting plate for one of my tripods, and the filters up here. My most often used filter is my orange. I really like that. I had a 25A, a deep red. I got a 15G as the orange, fairly dark yellow, and my Moose polarizing filter. This is a warming polarizing filter. And there are occasions where I need to get some really long exposures. I mean, really long, like a couple of minutes. I have this variable ND filter, almost can adjust that and just cut out almost all the light. So if I want to get like a 2-minute exposure, I can do that. While we're on the subject of filters, I want to point out the way I work with mine. I don't have the standard Rollei filters. I have step-up rings from the bayonet Rollei up to a 77. I'll go all the way up to 77. Then I can use all my standard filters I use for my digital cameras. I kind of standardize on 77 filter size. So that's what I do. And also I can put my step-up rings and use any of the leaf filter system or any of the other ones. So that's how I handle my filter system. And inside this case, this little flap here, I have some film that changes all the time. And when I'm doing video, and I don't always know that I'm going to be doing video when I go up, but I might see something really worth doing. But if I'm doing a YouTube video, I might be using this little Pocket 2. Great little system. And we'll look at that sometime later too. But this is basically how I store all my SL66 stuff. And again, this changes, but basically the lenses and the cameras are always in here. And these will be on my camper. And then when I go out in the field, I'll decide what I'm going to need. And as I get older, I don't walk as far as I used to. So it's pretty easy just to work out of this case here. So I hope you found that interesting, and I want to hear from you what sort of system you're using and how you take care of your gear. And all of you that have been writing in comments, I sure appreciate that. It's really kind of fun listening to you and sharing some of your experiences. So hope you got something out of this. If you did, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and please share it with your friends. So let's call it a day for now, and we'll just see you in the next video.